Hey guys, I'm going to be going back to Belladonna for an updated clear. I'm going to be swapping my original clear video to unlisted, but I'll put a link to the hidden video from my first clear in the comments just for reference. But this is a much better clear, so I'm going to hiding my original video and keeping this one as the primary video. I've made some adjustments to the team. I'm currently rank 8. There's a few cheaters. I'm actually technically higher. Here's my score. I've reduced the damage taken score quite a bit, or I've increased the damage taken score by taking less damage, and overall, it's an improvement. So here's the updated team, and I'll show the gear and all that at the end of the video. Still don't have any Trials of Mana units. We're going with a tank. We kicked off Tifa. We're bringing Carton instead. We dropped Aerith. We're bringing Melia. Other than that, same concept. Sad face on my energy potions because I like stocking them up, but whatever. Let's get you guys a good clear so I can lose my rank. That is the downside of sharing videos, is my rank goes down afterwards. But it's fine. It's fine. I like helping people. Anyway, so Zahn is going to, on turn 1, on Carbuncle, reflect himself and bounce Protect off of himself onto the boss. That way we can stack up Sephiroth's Shifted LB and Laura's Shifted LB. Alright, now Melia is going to, in the shift form, Eggshell Guard and Evergreen Blessing. Louise is going to quad Ionic. This is to refill Laura's LB. And then Carden is going to quad Graviga using the Gravity Rod. And we're going to wait for this to finish. Okay, we're going to go ahead and target our own team. And Graviga. This is going to lower our Provoker's health by quite a bit. Melia has 75% mid-up, so she's fine. And currently Zahn is provoking, but Sephiroth is our primary provoker, who is going to take over provoking in a moment. But right now he's shifted to get his stacks up, so Zahn is taking over. Also, be mindful of party order. Carton does have passive provoke when he shifts, which he's going to be doing later, so make sure he's lower in the party over your primary provokers. So we can go back to the base form with Sephiroth. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and use Louise to field, double Ionic, and power boost. So this is going to refill Laura's LB again, and then we're going to stack Laura a second time. There's a little bit RNG. If Laura didn't get any crystal drops, her LB is not ready. Hope for better luck next time, but for the most part, with 6 casts of Ionic between turn 1 and 2, Laura should always get her LB, a second time there. Let's see. Melia is going to go ahead and do Wooded Refuge and Overgrown Flora. This is just getting her set up for later, for tanking in a moment. Let's see. Carton is going to quad cast. Now we're going to do double Graviga and double Gravity. This is from the Graviga Wand and the Gravity Rod. We're going to target Sephiroth and go ahead and do this. We don't want to quad cast Graviga again because it'll deal too much damage to the party and it'll kill people. But double Graviga should be fine. And Sephiroth had regeneration, so he healed a little bit in the beginning. And then double single target Gravity on Sephiroth to get his health nice and low. That's not low enough, so we're going to go ahead and dual cast with another Gravity Rod on Sephiroth. Now, when the Gravity Rod ran 6 years ago, you guys did farm 2 Gravity Rods, right? Right? I know you did. Alright, and then Sephiroth, just anything. We don't want to guard because we lose a stack. We're just going to cast Fire. So now Sephiroth is very low in health, so the gravity damage, 3 points lost. Basically nothing. There we go. So, next is turn 3. Now this is going to be the AoE magical turn. So, we're going to use Melia to go to the base form. We're going to do Ally of the Forest and Spruce Shelter. That's a huge magic mitigation, 90%. So she's going to take very minimal damage. She also has her 75% gen mid up still from turn 1. On this turn, Carton is going to shift and do his LB for the modifier boost for later. It's also going to heal him up because the shift form does suicide, but this heals him back up. Good to go, not a problem. Let's go to the base form with Laura and stack her up. I'm sorry, not stack. Normal attack to fill her LB gauge again. We need to break the boss's magic for the damage this turn, so we're going to go ahead and shift Louise. We're going to do double Ionic. We're going to do Gun in Peril and neutralizing ionic to break the boss. Alright, Sephiroth currently has regeneration because we did Spruce Shelter, and he's recovering hit points. So we're going to use Sephiroth to Rage Beast Roar himself to get rid of that regeneration. We don't want any regeneration on Sephiroth. Please, no healing. So there we go. And then Zahn on this turn is going to double. We're going to critical on Melia, and we're going to elemental on Louise. Now, Melia did a 200% human and beast killer buff earlier. This is the same as Laura. The cool thing is, this allows us to like speed up the clear and not have to spend more turns getting Laura ready. So there we go. Yeah, because we're killing on turn 6, we take less of those AoE damages. Now here's the magic damage. We took like single or double digit damage on Melia, which is fine. Now there was some healing that turn. I think that is from Spruce Shelter. So Sephiroth has been healed a bit. So we're going to deal with that in just a moment. But first we're going to shift Laura, and we're going to do Volatile Ammunition. That's the 90% break, the fire amplify, all that. Carton, back to the base form. We're going to deal with you in a minute. Louise, back to the base form. Louise is going to do her Magnus this turn. Stat buff this turn. That's all we really need, so we'll just like stat buff a few times. Doesn't really matter. So let's do that. Alright, Sephiroth is going to do his base form LB. This is for the 125 Dark Imperil. Let's see. What else are we doing this turn? Oh yeah. Okay, so this is a gravity turn again. Because of the regeneration and the fields and all that, the bunny field, Sephiroth is back to 753 HP. Also, the magic mitigation from Melia is unfortunately undispellable. It's kind of actually a bad thing for this fight. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and quad Graviga again with Carton, target the whole team. And because mitigation is up, it's not going to kill anyone. It's actually going to deal relatively low damage, unfortunately, because we can't dispel Melia's magic mitigation. But we want to get Sephiroth nice and low in health. Not low enough. Let's go ahead and dual cast more gravities on Sephiroth with Zahn. Let's go ahead and target Sephiroth, try to get him as low as we possibly can, so we take less of a score penalty. Still not low enough. Let's gravity him with Melia as well. All the gravities. Let's go. That's about as good as it's going to get. So we're going to lose 100 more points for damage taken. That sucks. I wish there was a better way. There probably is, now that I think about it. Maybe I could, like, Guts Sephiroth or something? I'm going to have to think about it. But this is fine for the moment. Anyway, let's go ahead and shift Melia this turn and do her shifted LB for modifier boost. We're going to be killing on turn 6. Sephiroth's going to go ahead and shift and let Zahn take over tanking again. There's no more gravity we're going to be dealing with. We're going to go ahead and Magnus in the shift form. Louise can do field, amplify, stat buff, and killer buff, I guess. That's fine. Laura back to the base form and normal attack for LB fill. Carton is just going to use Cursed Gift for the Fist Imperil. And then Zahn, we're going to double up. We're going to critical on Louise for the big stat buffs. And actually, you know what we can do? We can Reflector. We can critical Louise, we can critical Sephiroth, and we can project it. That's actually kind of irrelevant, but whatever. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. Yep, there we go. So, single target physical. Zahn took over tanking again, and now it is time to burst the boss. So because we did Reflected Protect on turn 1, it lasts 5 effective turns. That Protect has now worn off, as you see. All the debuffs are up. He's got Gun Imperil, Katana Imperil, Fist Imperil, Dark Imperil, Fire Imperil, Spirit Break, and Defense Break. It is time to do our bursting. So Carton is going to shift, and he's going to Frenzy, which is a triple bolting strike frames. Melia is going to Oak Assault, which is triple bolting strike frames. Laura is going to shift and cap. Sephiroth is going to shift and cap. Louise is going to shift. We're going to triple bolting and then Magnus. So bolt, 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 Magnus. And then Zahn is going to triple bolting as well. Now, because Louise is basically garbage damage outside of Clash of Wills, she and Zahn are going to build the chain first. Then we're going to send our Melia and Carton duo to chain as well, after the chain is at maximum possible modifier. and then Laura and Sephiroth will cap it, and hopefully we get good variants. My best run with this team so far has been 750 million. So we're going to hope for some good variants. Let's see what happens. Give me a 760, that'd be great. And 733, bad variance. We didn't get a score improvement, but that's just variance. It's a 6-turn clear. It's overall relatively quick. You can run variance pretty simply. You know, I spent more time explaining than actually fighting. Here's the damage breakdown. Yeah, Sephiroth rolled a little bit lower than usual. Laura with this team is actually a little bit low as well. And then Carton, actually, yeah, all three of them rolled slightly lower than their maximum. Overall, it was not a bad run, but it wasn't as good as it could be. And then Louise and Melia just do whatever damage. So there is the clear. Yeah, I didn't improve my... Oh, shoot, I went too quickly. I actually meant to show you the score. Okay, so the score is very similar to what I did earlier. That wasn't the best run. I think we got close to the same damage received score. We lost about 100 points, 120 points. But I had a slightly lower variance roll that turn. But overall, same team. So here is the team we used. We're using a fire team. So, you know, fire because of Louise, basically. The field. And Louise is here for the gun in peril. And, yeah, I thought about pulling for Reese for a dark field. But, I don't know. Not yet. Maybe. Anyway, stick on point. So, Sephiroth was our primary provoker. He provoked on turns 2, 3, and 4. So his base form is full evasion and provoking. Notice he is not using his TMR or STMR and not using any sources of regeneration because he doesn't have natural regen and he doesn't counter with regeneration. So that way we can get him nice and low in health without any kind of regeneration problems. We gave him Rage Beast Roar to dispel the regen from the bunny field on turn 3 so he doesn't heal at all. Shift form, damage. Not provoking in the shift form. While he is shifted on turns 1 and 5, Zahn takes over and there's no gravity on turns 1 and 5. And notice that Sephiroth is higher in the party order than Zahn and Carton, so he provokes as needed over them. Anyway, here's his shifted LB damage build thingamajiggy. You get the idea. He has 300 beast, 300 human, and 300 LB damage. Big boy Sephiroth. Louise in the base form, which is whatever, mana regen, it's completely irrelevant. Shift form is quote-unquote damage, her big, like, 10 million damage she dealt. Yeah, she's here for the field. The field, the gun in peril, the 90% spirit, although no one even does magic damage on this turn, so that was irrelevant. Yeah, she's really here just for the field and for the gun in peril. Maybe there's a better option here, I don't know. But for the moment, she's on the team. Here's the build, maxed on everything. Her damage is still garbage outside of Clash of Wills, makes me feel bad. Beast, 300, human, yep, maxed on everything. And that was her build. Zahn was again a provoker. He was lower in the party order than Sephiroth, but when Sephiroth is shifted, it defaults to Zahn as the secondary provoker. He is using the Rod of Gravity for gravity, and again, I already can see it. Players that A, weren't playing 5 years ago, or B, when they were playing, they didn't farm this event because this event was terrible. I farmed 2 of these 5 years ago because I was insane. But yeah, this is a source of gravity. There's plenty of sources of gravity in the game, and it's not even super required. It just makes a better score. You know, anyway, getting ways to gravity your provoker is to lower the health just means you take less of a penalty from damage taken. You could also do things like punching the provoker in the face and triggering guts, and that's other ways. That actually might have even been better than gravity now that I'm thinking about it, because that would have set the HP to 1, but 1 is too low though. Yeah, we don't want to go to 1 because then you'll die to gravity. We have an entire week to play with it. I don't know. Anyway, he's past her Provoke Evasion, Dual Cast, and he's on Carbuncle for Reflect and Protect. And then he got Gravity from the Rod. So that was his build. Melia, in the base form, as high as you possibly can on spirit. Don't worry about HP, just pure and complete spirit. I've got 4992. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe a double hand spirit build would have been better. I probably should have tested that instead of going directly for dual wield spirit. I don't know. I'll play with that later. Because I think maybe I can double hand spirit even higher. I don't actually know. In any case, here was the build we used on Amelia in the base form. Just lots of spirit. Shift form, technically speaking, she's geared for damage. She did 10 million. I mean, every little bit helps. So here is her shifted form. She's a spirit damage dealer in the shift form. Maxed beast. Well, she's maxed on killers. How you like that? Maxed on killers and 5,000 spirit. She has the chain cap up naturally while dual wielding. Her damage was still terrible, but she did damage. There was the build. Carton in the base form. Rod art. And we are all in for gravity. Irene's ring. My second copy of Gravity Rod for the single target gravity. And then Gravity Rod to give him Graviga. Graviga is the big one. If you don't have the Gravity Rod or the Rod of Gravity, you can get Graviga from the Diablos Esper. It's just that with the build I'm using, he actually got more damage on Bahamut instead of Diablos. So Diablos is on Amelia, and that's where Amelia got her. Gravity from, by the way. Anyway, so he was our primary gravity user with Irene's Rod of Gravity and Graviga Rod. Or Gravity Rod, a bunch of gravities. Anyway, shift form, typical Carton build, human and beast killer, double hand, chain cap up, cross Igon arm, chain cap up, double hand. He's the stupidest to build because you got to build him double hand for good damage, but he has no support for it. I hate it. But there it is. 6,000 attack, 200 beast, 300 human, not even max on killers. Like, Gumi, please never again make a dual wield unit until you fix dual wield. Anyway, Laura, this base form's irrelevant. I was gearing her for, like, auto fill rate because I was going to try to, like, RNG the drop, but then I changed my teams where I have, like, basically no RNG required. So, base form, just make sure she's dual wielding with the TMR equipped. Shift form, damage. LB damage. Her LB damage, beast, and humans. There we go. 7,000 attack. I think she's maxed on everything. Maxed on everything. And there's the build. I was also trying to fit in Zidane's STMR. Unfortunately, with this team, no one really has spare turns to sing it. And the only LBs we're even using were Laura and Sephiroth. And Laura's got a natural 300% LB damage, so Zahn's STMR does nothing for her. And then Sephiroth did his Magnus for 250%. So really, Zidane's STMR is actually not that big of a deal on this team. Anyway, there was my clear. It is still the first day. It's just the first evening. As I spend more time thinking about this party during the week, I might make adjustments and post a new clear later. But for now, here is my clear. I will see you guys later.